Alright, so we're going to do a pod review today on this pepper right here. And this is called the Cap 499. As you can see, it's a small little pepper. And this is a Capsicum Chacoense. It's one of about, I think there's like 8 or 9 different Capsicum Chacoenses out there. So this is one of those. I'm growing like maybe 2 or 3 of them right now of the Capsicum Chacoenses. But this is the Cap 499. And the peppers are quite small on it. And if you look at some of the others, they are semi-club shaped. They're very small peppers too. I'm sure if you grow this out in a field, these peppers will probably get double in size. But growing them under a tight canopy like this, the peppers stayed small, which for me is a relief because I don't have to burn myself to death to do a pod review for you. So why don't we pick one of these? As you can see, most Chacoenses will definitely release the pepper from the cap and stem. It just pops right off, and when these get ripe, they fall right off. So you'll start finding these all over the ground when you grow them outdoors because the wind's blowing and they're swaying and they just start falling off, and these things will be everywhere. So that's it right there. I'll get you some decent light here. Okay, so that's the Cap 499. Let's turn you around, pop this in my mouth, and give it a go. Alright guys, here we are. We're doing a pod review now on this little tiny little thing you see right there. This is probably the world's smallest pepper. It's smaller than the Charapita one. This is called the Cap 499. It's a Capsicum Chacoense. It's squishing in my fingers, so I got to put this thing in my mouth right away and get it done. Soap flavor. It was mostly soap flavor. It does have like a type of a wild pepper flavor, sort of like a cayenne maybe, but it's very small, very little amount of flavor came out of it, but it was mostly soap in the beginning, which is something to do with the flavor of fresh capsaicin when you eat it. So you get a stronger flavor of that in the beginning. When the pepper's really potent, it will give you that sensation, and then that part subsides, and then you can taste the flavor of the pepper. But in the beginning, when you first get that initial rush of it, you're going to get that soap flavor from really good peppers that produce really good fresh capsaicin oil. So let's pick another one. It came and gone so quickly I can't even describe the heat or the flavor. The heat is generally pretty low because it's such a tiny little pepper. Let's pick another one. Here's another one. Let's put that in my mouth and give it a go. Let's talk a little bit about the texture of the pepper and stuff like that. Basically, it's a small pepper. It's kind of soft in the middle, almost like a gummy bear type soft. And when you bite it, all the innards come out, and you're left with nothing but a skin. The innards instantaneously dissolve into a liquid, and you got the seeds left and the skin in your mouth, and that's basically it. The flavor of the pepper, it's hard for me to describe the flavor of a Chacoense, because it's not cayenne, it's not like bell pepper, it's none of those things. This particular variety of pepper has its own flavor range. I really like the flavor of Chacoenses, to be honest with you. I mean, they're different than cayennes, and I start to get a little fatigued with the same flavor profile all the time in my cooking, and I'm always looking for something different. This is a good option to apply to cooking if you're going to make hot sauces or stuff like that. You want to try to get that flavor on it. This would be a good option for you. Now, here's another Chacoense, and this is the 501, and you can see it's a much bigger pepper. Though they can make small ones too, like that one over there. But in general, these peppers can get quite large, or larger. I'm pretty sure these peppers can, but not one pepper on this entire plant. And there's probably over 100 of them at least right now on there that I can see. And they're all small, every single one of them. There's about 2 seeds in each one, and that's it. I'm sure if I grow this out next year in the yard, I probably can get those a little bigger, probably close to maybe a ½ of an inch long, but I don't think they're going to get that much bigger than that. They are club shaped, and that's really all I could say about that. And let me describe the heat a little bit for you. Now, the heat It's very small, so I broke it up on the end of my tongue here. And that whole region of my tongue is warm and hot. I would probably say if I was to put a Scoville on it, I don't know. I'd probably say 200, 300, 400, maybe even 500. And they might get a little hotter than that if you grow them out completely on their own. They might actually start to get a little warmer. But this one right here, I couldn't say is more than 500. It's roughly somewhere around there. But it's mostly stinging the area where I chewed it up in the front of my mouth because it's so small, there's nothing to chew. It's just you bite it with your teeth in the front and it kind of just work the seeds in the skin a little bit and get whatever you can out of it and spit those little bits out. Other than that, I would definitely say it's a good pepper to grow. I will be growing this next year. I think I'm going to winter this one over. So next year when I plant it outside, I get a really big plant out of it. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'd like to get a nice 8-foot tall plant loaded with these peppers and really see what the potential of the plant is. So we're going to grow this one outdoors next year. This year I grew it in here, so it's kind of crowded out by the other plants. And I do that a lot of times, but that's just the way I do things. So anyway, that's about it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.